The nicest thing he said about Putin was, hey, we don't have a bad relationship, yet he called him the kid who slumps in the back of a room in a classroom. I mean, is that what you say to a peer? Is that what you say to somebody you respect?
Interesting question, but why would anyone respect Vladimir Putin? He's a human rights violator who has spit in the eye of America. Why would you respect him? So I like what President Obama said. I think it's accurate. Putin is an immature and irresponsible leader. Joining us now from Austin, Fox News analyst Karl Rove. So am I wrong here, Mr. Rove?
Well, look, you conflated two different criticisms of Obama. Frankly, Senator McCain's probably closer in his view to you than you think he is. But let's take him and look at him separately. Brad Blakeman's point is that if you are dealing with a peer, you don't want to be insulting the peer unnecessarily. But Vladimir Putin is a prickly personality, and the president needs to deal with him as the president. And he was dealing with him in a news conference as a pundit. He was falling back in. He was moving. He had good language at the beginning. We have a constructive relationship. It is candid and blunt, and sometimes it's constructive. He should have stopped there. Instead, though, he had to say something that is going to cause Putin to sort of say, you know, the president doesn't think well of me,
so
and I'm going to get back at him.
Well, look, he's already gotten back at him. I think that the time for détente with Putin is over, isn't it? How much more does he have to rub our faces in it?
There was never any détente with Putin.
All right, so blank him, Putin, and if he's slouching, let's call him a slouch, because he is.
Look, there's no utility in doing that. What's useful is focusing on policy and disagreements and not doing things that give him an excuse.
What do you mean there's no utility in doing it? Let me finish. No, let me challenge. What do you mean there's no utility in doing it? There comes a point where you call out the schoolyard bully and you slap him around a little bit. And that's what he did.
Only if he thinks that you're tough. And let's go back. Let's wind this back. Obama comes into office, and the first thing he does is he stiffs our allies in the Czech Republic and Poland over a missile defense system for Europe, and does so unilaterally with no pre-consultation. And Putin looks at him and says, he'll stab his friends in the back. He's weak. He says, oh, I desperately want to reset with you. I'm going to send my Secretary of State over with the little button from the reset button. It wasn't that easy. And he looks at him and says, what are you doing? And then he looks at him and says, okay, the guy says Gaddafi's got to go, and then takes no action to make him go. And it's the French and the Brits who make him go. He says he's weak. 2 years ago, he says Bashar al-Assad has got to go. And then Bashar al-Assad 2 years later is still in power. He looks at this guy and says, Putin looks at him and says he's weak.
Not arguing
so
with
you
that.
don't want to, you know, it's like the 90 pound weakling in the
so now he's going to finally
on the school bully. It ain't going to happen.
Look.
So
I'm not arguing that
Putin
thinks he's weak, but now it's time for Obama to call him out and slap him around verbally a little bit.
Oh, I bet it really hurt him deeply. I bet Putin is in the fetal position as in his dacha, crying that he's now been called.
You just said that Putin's going to try to get him back for the classroom. No, Putin's a little. He takes all this personally. If you diss him, he'll probably do something. But it's over. See, it's over. We can't reason with Putin anymore. So now you just call him out.
The way you deal with Putin is by tough policy and stabbing our friends in the back, being feckless and indecisive internationally,
should we boycott the Olympics,
being weak and importuning, and not being tough. I'm sorry?
Should we boycott the Olympics? That's tough.
No, look. That's boycotting an international event. It's not boycotting.
All right, so
Putin
what would you do?
Less.
You don't want to say he's a sloucher. All right, what do you want to do to Putin?
I agree with President Obama's decision to say no meeting with Putin.
Yeah,
I don't need to waste time with him. I'm going to the G20. I'm going to meet with the other world leaders. We'll meet in the context of the G20. But Putin, I'm not spending special time with you.
Yeah, but Putin doesn't care.
It's not worth my time.
That's not a punishment for Putin. He'll take his shirt off and go out and shoot a tiger. He doesn't care.
No. No. Look, this on the international stage is a rebuke of Putin that is a right and proper rebuke. That is being tough. That's being the right way.
I like Obama's feistiness. I want Obama to call Putin out verbally. I think it's necessary to do it.
Yeah,
and then they can make up. They can go to W's Ranch and make up.
If you're going to call him out, don't call him the slouch in the back of the room. Take a policy disagreement and say, with all due respect, the President Putin is an autocrat who is violating the human rights of his people.
With all due respect,
he is enabling violence and destabilizing the Middle East.
You can
do something
that.
of substance. Don't be sitting there calling him.
Look, this is what should happen. I think you'll agree with me here. President Obama should put me in charge of insulting Putin. He should rise above it. I'll do it. Do you agree?
You know, if the object is to insult, fine, but if the object is to change his behavior and force
He's not
action,
going to change his behavior. He's not going to change. He's going to give it to us every chance he gets. It's not going to change.
You know what? You can. Yes, you can. This is what we did with the Soviets during the Cold War. Ronald Reagan and his predecessors and successors kept focused on the policy differences and focused on the big issues and let the personal stuff go to the side.
I think Putin's a polluter. Karl Rove, everybody,
That's
on
good
deck.
for you to say, not for the president.
I'll tell you about my trip to Alaska. So stay right there, Rove. Last week it was spectacular, and there was even danger involved.